Hello ladies and gentlemen, my name is Exiled and welcome to Minecraft A Beginner's Guide. This is the third episode in our series of snapshots, and today we're going to be tackling the simple job of moving around and how to interact with our world and use tools and all that fun stuff that we need to know to really take advantage of our Minecraft world and to survive basically. So with that, let's get started. Over here you can see I have a couple of props set up, but you're probably asking yourself, if you've never touched the game, well, how do I move? How do I get around? How are you walking? Well, it's very simple. So your controls for walking are W, S, A, and D. If I hit W, I take a step. If I hold W, I walk. Okay? And that's in a straight line forward. No matter how you're facing, W will move you in a straight line. S is the exact opposite. You will move backwards. You'll walk backwards. Then to move right, we're going to hit D, and to go left, we hit A. Super simple. WSAD. Really easy finger placement. If you're not a gamer, if you're new to gaming, that's pretty universal in most games that you'll play. Okay, that's fine if I just want to move like this, but that doesn't really do a lot because you can't see next to you or look around. So to move where our crosshairs are pointing, we just use our mouse. So if we push forward, we look up. If we pull the mouse back, we look down, and same with left and right. So if we walk forward, we can look around. Oh, there's some cows. We can turn and look at them. We can look over there at those chickens way over there. We can turn around. Yeah, all with our mouse button. Okay, we want to go check out that chicken there. So what we're going to do is, we know that we can hit W to walk in a straight line, but if we reach down with our pinky and hit the control button, you can see that we're sprinting now. We can run in a hurry. Hey, chicken. And then we can run back to where we were. On the polar opposite of that, if we hit shift, we're going to creep. We're going to be sneaky. We're going to be careful where we're walking. That's just by holding the shift button. So control to run, shift will make you crawl or sneak. And that's going to be important when we get to this little thing I've set up here. Okay, so we can move, we can look around, we can run, we can crouch. Okay, but now we need to learn about jumping. Jump, super simple. Your thumbs, if you're resting on your keyboard, it's right at the space bar. And that's how we're going to do our jump. Auto jump is enabled. If you remember from our options tutorial, by default, the game will make you jump when you come to a block that you can't walk up. So just like that. Or you can disable it and use your space key. It's whatever you prefer. My preference is to be in control of it, because as you jump, each time you jump, it causes you to gain some hunger points that build up slowly over time when you're in survival. So if we're not really wanting to go up here, but we get a little bit too close, the game's automatically going to make us jump. And that may not be what we're wanting to do. We may not want to go up there. That might be a cactus. And we we sustain damage from it. So it's up to you, but I highly recommend you take it off. You'll save yourself some time and issues by not having auto jump enabled. So now that we know how to move and get around and jump and all that fun stuff, how do I get into this box? This is a Minecraft chest. I know there's something good in it, but how do you interact with it? Well, to interact with your world, you use your right mouse button. So if we click on the right mouse button, you see the chest opens, and there's all sorts of goodies in here for us. And also our inventory screen pops open. Now, with that inventory screen, this bottom row here is the hotbar at the bottom of your screen. Okay, and they coincide with numbers 1, 2, 3, etc. Now, We're going to jump out of that for a second. If we look now, I just pulled that same screen open, but we are in creative, so you'll see all these tabs and stuff. They won't be here in a survival world. But just for the purpose of this tutorial, I wanted to show you basically everything that you have. You have 27 slots right here. That is your off-screen inventory. And then the bottom 9 are your hotbar. So your hotbar, you're going to want to have your tools or a sword, stuff like that in it, stuff that you know you're going to need. Or if you're building a project, the blocks that you're using, you're going to want those handy, so they'll be on your hotbar. Now you can see the fourth one is highlighted. That's the one, if I had stuff in my inventory, that would be in my hand that you see on the screen. But if we're needing to change that, there's two ways to do it. You can use your scroll wheel on your mouse. You roll it back and it increases, or push it forward and it decreases. Or there is another way. Each one of those boxes on your hotbar is linked to your keys. So 1 through 9 control the hotbar. So if I hit the number 6, it takes me to my 6th slot. 1 takes me back. So those are the two different ways that you can select stuff in your hotbar. Now, how do we get stuff in our hotbar? We know that we do a right click to open this chest. Okay, so let's say we want to grab this axe. So we're going to go up to the axe and do a right click, and see, now I have possession of it, but I need to place it somewhere. So we're going to put it right here. We're going to hover over our first slot in our hotbar and we're going to press the right mouse button again, and now it's in our inventory. If we go to our first slot, it's there. We can scroll up, etc. Okay, so we want this diamond pick, same thing. Now, there's several items in here that are the same. We can click on each one and then they will stack. A lot of the items in the game will stack several on top of each other. Now you can stack them in the chest and then move them to your hotbar, or you can stack them in the hotbar like I did the mutton. Okay, and then we're going to grab the shield. So now we have food, we have some tools, and we got some building blocks, which we're going to come over here and play with a little bit. Okay, so we come up here to our blocks. We're wanting to get up there. You walk forward, your W key, and hit the space bar, and we jump up and forward so we can climb up this little staircase like thing. Okay, now one of the next things for interacting with our world is, okay, I've got these blocks. I want to add to, you know what, before we do that, let me, there, now the sun's over there. It won't get dark on us. I want to add to this platform. Now, I can look at the face of a block, and the one that I'm looking at will get a black outline around that block, so I know exactly where it's going. So on this face, if I hit my right mouse button with a block in my hand, I can place a block, like so. If I want to put one here, I just hit my right mouse button and I place the blocks. Okay, now let's say we're building a roof on our house, for instance, and we need to build something out here, but it's a long ways down. Well, remember that sneak button, the shift key that we talked about earlier? This is where that comes in really handy, because see, if we sneak out to the edge, I'm hitting my D key, I can't fall off. But if I'm not, I'll just walk right off the edge. So the sneak key will prevent you from falling off an edge. And then we can look at that face, put a block, and so forth, just by holding our shift key, and we won't fall off our structure. Super handy, super beneficial if you're caving and let's say you find a big lava pool and you're above it here. You only have one block to walk on. If you hit your shift key, you're not going to fall into that lava. You will not fall down or cross over. If this lava is right against this, same thing. It won't let you off this set of solid blocks into a liquid. It will keep you on the solid blocks. So if the lava is right next to you, you can be safe, not fall in the fire, and burn to death. So, one other thing I wanted to talk about has to do with our inventory again. We have a chest with a whole bunch of stuff in it. Now, we had shown where you can stack stuff there or here, and that just takes too long. If I take this by left clicking it, I can hover over one of these blocks and hold my shift key, double left click on it, and everything stacks into my hotbar. That is the same. Okay, if I do it again with the iron, see how, see how it all stacked up there? Okay, but you saw where that one kind of flew up there. It's because there wasn't anything else to shift click into my hotbar, so it just put that back. You can do, okay, we were out exploring and we got these blocks that we want to store for later. You can hold your shift and single click on a block and it moves the whole stack, everything they have stacked up, into the first slot of your chest. And the same way, if you have them stacked in your chest and you need to use them to build, hold your shift, left click once, and there's your blocks, and you can add to it your build there or whatever you're needing your blocks for. Super simple. And that is the basics of all the controls that you need to get started. Now, while I say that, just to let you know, the Let's Play series is starting very soon. I'm super excited for it, and I really hope that you guys will join me as we get started in a brand new world. Now, that world will be survival, so in creative mode, you don't use health and you never get hungry. But I've got this food for if we were in survival, because you're going to develop hunger. Now, in our inventory here, you know what? Okay, we got plenty of time. Let me switch my game mode to survival. Okay, so this is the GUI, the GUI, when you're in survival. You have armor slots, so as we go along and create armor, we can protect ourselves by putting our armor in these slots. It won't take away from our inventory here unless we take it off and physically put it in there. But once we equip our armor, it will stay out of our inventory until it's taken off. And then you have this little guy here. This basically is your left hand. So let's say we have a monster coming at us, a zombie or a skeleton. And be sure and tune in for the next video where we're going to go over all the mobs that are animals, creatures, villagers, everything you're going to encounter in Minecraft that's alive. We're going to cover. So be sure and tune in for that. But not all the things spawned in the world are friendly, like these horses and cows. We can go up to them, they're not going to attack us, but that's not necessarily true for everything. Sometimes we're going to need more defense. So if we put this shield in our left hand, as you can see, it's sitting there, and I'm going to switch my view by hitting F5. You can see we're packing a shield. Okay, but if I don't have a building block to use and I hold down my right mouse key, look what happens. My shield pops up and most of our body is covered. So if we're getting attacked, we're going to stay a lot safer. And we can use our weapon by hitting the left mouse button. Like so. So protection, left mouse button. But you're not always going to need this. I know a lot of guys that prefer to keep torches in their left hand, so as they're exploring they can put torches down and have a light source. But for me, I like to keep food there, because as I'm exploring in my world or creating or building or whatever I'm doing, I'm going to get hungry. And it's super easy. I can't show you now because obviously I'm not hungry. But if I was hungry and I hold down my right mouse button, I'll eat and restore my hunger bar. But other than that, I cannot think of anything else I can tell you as far as controls go that will help you when you start your game. So, like I said, be sure and tune in for our Let's Play series. And if you enjoyed the video and found it helpful, please like and subscribe. But until next time, this is Exile, and I'm out.